For me, everything started with the great desire to get more international experience. Third semester of my bachelor. I'm 18 and I'm bored at university. It has been several months since I've been learning English intensively, since I realized on one of the classes at university how poor my English is.
New York City is the city in the southern end of the state, and it is the most populous city in the United States of America.
In the beginning of third semester, I went to ISIC presentation at our university where they talked about different volunteering exchanges they offer. Who doesn't know what ISIC is? It is an NGO that provides young people some global volunteer exchange experiences. And a couple of months later, I'm already in Poland, struggling with my limited English vocabulary, but absolutely amazed by all the experiences and people that came into my life. On my project, I was sharing Ukrainian culture, traditions, and history with the Polish kids. It was amazing. I've met hundreds of people, taught dozens of classes, and shared a lot of moments with people around me.
Oh, okay.
But more importantly, I realized how many opportunities out there in the world, and I was hungry for more experiences. At this point, I knew that I wanted to move abroad and experience something that I wouldn't be able to get if I stayed in my hometown. For my sixth semester at my university, I went to Austria for an exchange semester there. I got this opportunity very randomly. There was a presentation about internships in Canada at my university, and when the event finished, a woman from International Mobility Department mentioned briefly something about Austria. And if I didn't go to this presentation, I would never learn about this opportunity because it was never mentioned or published anywhere at the university. My bachelor was in system analysis, and it is a degree in IT field, while the university in Austria had a primarily focus on mining, metallurgy, and materials, and none of my subjects were actually taught there. So I decided to take courses in logistics and supply chain management, which eventually helped me to get into internship in Germany, but more about it later. And I took the rest of the courses from my university online, so this is how I managed to pass this semester without retaking it. It was a very interesting experience. I had a chance to study in another educational system. I lived in international dormitory with people from New Zealand to Argentina. I hiked in Austrian Alps, and I participated in all kinds of crazy and new activities. After this exchange semester, I confirmed for myself that I would like to move abroad. My last semester during my bachelor's, despite 7 subjects and diploma thesis waiting on me, I decided to go to Germany for 6 months internship. When I talked to my supervisor later in Germany, he told me that actually the biggest part for accepting me for this supply chain manager internship played my semester at Austria, where I took logistics and supply chain management courses. It was a very interesting experience for me to work in international company in the multicultural team. I got on well with some of my colleagues at work, and we were often going to grab a beer after work. I was living with the 2 roommates in Düsseldorf, and it was the longest time in my life I was living with someone else in one apartment. But luckily we became close very quickly, and we had a lot of good time together. I should mention that there were many moments before I actually went to Germany when I thought that the whole thing might fail with this internship. I thought, this is my last semester at university, how I will be able to complete all my courses, write my master thesis, pass graduation exam, and complete a full-time internship in the field I know almost nothing about. Looking back to it right now, I have no idea how I managed to do that. But what I realized there is that it is possible to sort out more things than you think you can. And sometimes when you take on an opportunity presented to you, a lot of things follow along. Anyways, after 6 months of working in a huge international company, I was unsatisfied with the speed in there. I wanted more dynamic and exciting work. I wanted to work in a startup. And it led me to 2 days after my internship in Germany ended, I started my international business administration degree at the Tallinn University of Technology. Straight from first semester, I've got into several entrepreneurial programs and was working on startup in the field of education. It all started pretty well, but then COVID happened and everything changed. Even though during the 1.5 year living in Estonia, I had some good moments living pre-pandemic life. And physically going into classes and interacting with my classmates.
Oh my god.
Come on, Deb. Come on, now you're like, I don't know, a military.
No, actually, we are laughing because we are happy
Captain.
we've
Oh
solved
my.
the problem. We don't have any worries.
Come on, man.
Overall, terrible weather, gloomy people, isolation. I felt pretty lonely in Tallinn. Population of the whole country is only 1.3 million. People are very reserved, and with COVID restriction, it was almost impossible to meet somebody new. That's why on the last semester of my master's, I decided to escape to Denmark. And it was one of the best decisions in my life. Denmark is incredible. Even though I came to Denmark in January 2021, so a lot of restrictions were still in place and I haven't had a chance to step into my university during my master thesis. Due to high vaccination rates and other factors, Denmark was one of the first countries to loosen a lot of its restrictions. After finishing my master's and several months waiting for my visa application without knowing if I'm going to stay in Denmark or will I be forced to leave, I finally got my visa and started working in Copenhagen. I really liked lifestyle in Copenhagen. Biking to work, running along the lakes, winter bathing, which I started to do in August and continued throughout the year. And of course, spending time with friends.
It's like an interdepartmental stuff, right?
What a lot of people notice when they first come to Copenhagen is that how people here appreciate life outside of work. It was a good time for me to keep balance between work, sport, social life, and other things that in a combination can be very good for your mental health and enjoying life. I had by far the best social life among all the countries I lived before. Even though there were a lot of positive aspects of living in Denmark, my path was leading me to the next destination, the next chapter of my life. My journey led me all across the Atlantic Ocean to the country known for its stunning landscapes and beautiful nature, where I start over again, resetting my life and choosing a new and thrilling path to go. So looking back to the past 5 years, I can tell that one thing would not happen without the other. If I didn't go to volunteer in Poland, I might not got accepted at the university in Austria. If I didn't go to study in Austria, then 99% chance that I wouldn't get my internship in Germany. If I didn't have Austria and Germany on my CV, I might not get accepted at my university in Estonia for my master's program. If I didn't go to Estonia, then I wouldn't be able to go on my exchange semester in Denmark and then stay and work there. It could be a completely different story for me. Would it be better or worse? Who knows? All these opportunities were not easy to get. Every time there was a moment when I thought, I can't go. Visa problems, interviews, settling issues with my university and so on. But somehow eventually it always worked out. There were also a lot of applications for different programs where I got rejected, but this is the way of life and you can get it all. One thing that I want you to take from this story is that try to be more proactive towards your life pursuits, and while you're young, collect experiences instead of material things, because those experiences are priceless and they can open many doors for you in the long run. Thanks for watching and see you next time.